Joining me now is Eric Ham. He's CTV's political analyst. Eric, good morning to you. I want to begin by talking about why Trump is there, because he doesn't have to be. He is a witness, but he's not expected to appear until a few weeks into this trial. Why do you think it's important for him to be there as this proceeding moves forward?
Yeah, we have to also look at this. When there was the civil trial that was brought by E. Jean Carroll, Donald Trump did not attend those proceedings at all, but he is in the courtroom for these hearings. And I think the reason why Donald Trump is present is because he recognizes that it is his entire business narrative that is online. And of course, we also know just how defensive and protective Donald Trump has been, particularly when it comes to discussions about his net worth. And so Donald Trump is there protecting the proverbial Trump shield. Donald Trump for decades has created this narrative around him as a savvy deal maker, an expert businessman, and also, of course, how he has amassed so much wealth. And now for the first time in a courtroom, there is discussions, already it's been decided that Trump is liable for fraud. But now there are going to be larger and deeper discussions just about how Donald Trump conducted his business and also the value and worth of that business. And so Donald Trump is there to ensure, or at least to attempt to try to salvage all of that, because right now it could potentially all go up in flames.
Eric, talk to us about what Trump stands to lose. It's a pretty substantial list.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, what the New York Attorney General is actually asking for is a fine of at least $250 million. Now, that number could actually get much, much higher. In addition to that, we know that Donald Trump's namesake and his business is on the line. In fact, already the judge in this case has already ruled that a number of business licenses held by Donald Trump as well as the Trump organization needs to be dissolved. And the question now is, will all of Donald Trump's business and his licensing and ability to operate in New York, will all of that be dissolved as well? And will the fine that will be adjudicated, will that fine actually be enough to actually destroy the Trump organization as well as Donald Trump himself? $250 million, I think, would be a lot and a huge hurdle for Donald Trump to overcome if he has to pay that. But if that number gets higher, then it only makes it that much more damaging for the Trump organization and for Donald Trump personally. I mean, Donald Trump has claimed to be a very, very wealthy man, but when it comes to liquidity, clearly that could be, I think, a huge hurdle. And then we get into the actual potential of forfeit assessure. Could Donald Trump's actual businesses, could his companies, could those buildings that have his name on them, could those actually be removed from him? So what we're seeing here is Donald Trump is now for the first time beginning to actually face legal accountability for his actions, even though he has been shielded from any accountability politically. And so what we're seeing now is Donald Trump present to actually try to fight for his namesake, for his business, and for what worth he still has left.
And there's no jury, but that was something that Trump was complaining about yesterday, and he insulted the judge. But correct me if I'm wrong, it was up to his defense lawyers to say whether or not they wanted this to be a jury trial. It's judge alone.
Yeah, that's right. Both the defense as well as the prosecution had the choice to ask for a jury trial or a judge. And it appears that Donald Trump opted for a judge in this instance. Now, there are many legal experts who believe that was a mistake, and we already see the judge has ruled in much of this case already. So it's not an issue of whether or not Trump actually committed fraud. That has already been decided. What Donald Trump is attempting to try to stave off now and mitigate is how much this is actually going to cost him financially. And that is what we're seeing play out right now. This is a matter of the defense as well as the prosecution putting forward a case that will determine how much culpability Donald Trump has in this instance.
All right, I got to get a quick final thought from you on what is happening with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Matt Gaetz says that he's going to file this motion to remove McCarthy from his job? Do you think that McCarthy is going to survive this week, Eric?
If Kevin McCarthy survives, it could be on the backs of Democrats. But what this battle between these two Republicans is showcasing is just how distrustful Kevin McCarthy has become in his job. We see already the word trust being thrown around and how distrustful Kevin McCarthy is. Kevin McCarthy made promises to Republicans that he was not able to keep. He made promises to Democrats that he has not kept. And now the question is, will these same people who Kevin McCarthy backstabbed, will they actually come through for him in this instance? And that's what we're watching to see in terms of how it'll actually play out.
No shortage of political drama. Eric Ham, thank you so much. Good to see you this morning.
Thank you.